Hey now, and welcome down to KC Toy Reviews. We are here today with The Joker by Mars Toys. After nearly a 2-year wait, this guy is finally in front of us in its 1/6 scale form, and the question of course is it worth your money and your time? Well, let's go ahead and figure that out together as we dive right the hell goddamn in. Alright, so here he is, finally, in all his glory, the Mars Toys Joker. As I mentioned, after nearly a 2-year wait, he's here. And, well, the question is, was he worth the wait? I think that I'm pleasantly surprised so far. Expectations were met, especially for the price point, which floats around $200. I'm not sure that I was expecting anything more than what's in front of us, especially I was not expecting a Hot Toys quality figure. And with that being said, we have a Hot Toys Joker that floats around $500 now, and this being $200. Is that $300 price point noticeable and worth it? Absolutely not. Go with the Mars Toys before we even deep dive into this review, unless you are specifically looking for the officially branded licensed figure, then yes, go with Hot Toys. But at this point, it is definitely not worth a $300 difference. So for starters, the head sculpt is pretty decent. We have movable eyes. I didn't touch them. What you see, I just whipped it out of the box maybe 20-30 minutes ago. So what you see is what you get. I can move those eyes around, and the reason I even say that, I know some people will always pick on the way the eyes look. So these are movable eyes. We have a magnetic back to his head that we can remove and pivot those eyes the way we want them. The hat, well, the hat is actually a nice felt hat. It's decent quality. I've seen a lot of reviews say that it doesn't fit very well, and I guess that I would say scale-wise, as far as this in comparison to the Hot Toys, it does look slightly larger than the Hot Toys. So as far as proportions and scale of the hat to the body and in regards to the movie, it might be slightly off by 10% to maybe even less, 5% off. And overall, I think it does fit well. It's kind of loose. As you can see, it kind of moves around. However, I don't know. It's not like I'm going to be taking this guy out into the wind or the beach and having the hat blow off of him. So for what it is, it fits decent on the head. I wouldn't say that we need to gripe about the looseness of it. It fits decent. If we start with the hat all the way down to the coat, through his little over jacket here and the shirt underneath, I mean, there's probably 4 to 5 different materials used right there in lens. So kudos to the team over there for giving a nice contrast and depth between the layers. Now, I think the head sculpt is decent. You know, I would say that it's very, very close to the Hot Toys head sculpt. I'm not sure if this is clearly just a recast and then the paint application is a little bit different, but overall, I can't complain for the price point in a 1/6 figure. And as I always say, I don't think the lens is capturing the detail as much as it probably could, so I think the head sculpt is good. I don't think that they could have done too much more. So overall, I think they did a fantastic job with the head sculpt. It really reminds me of the Jack Nicholson from the movie. I think it has the glare to the eyes, a little glisten again to the eyes and the teeth. Movable eyes, as I mentioned before, so just that extra layer and that dynamic depth that you can add to your posability. You know, so overall, the fact that they went with posable eyes is great. It just adds an extra layer, some more depth, and really kicks up those dynamic poses for anybody out there that's going for those truly artistic looks. And I guess overall, we can't complain. We have posable eyes, a decent head sculpt. I like the hat still. I like the felt and the looks of the hat, the way it fits and sits on there. So the head sculpt to me is good. You know, I'm not going to knock it too much. It's not Hot Toys quality, as I mentioned, but it is a good head sculpt. So as we zoom out and take a look at this thing as a whole, I mean, in my opinion, it looks fantastic. I might be a little biased because I think Joker is one of the best characters out there. I think those Batman movies with Michael Keaton are some of the best Batman movies out there. But with that being said, look at this figure. It does look like it's ripped straight from the movie. It does look similar to the Hot Toys quality figure that we are all used to. Now, of course, that's on the outside. What we see visually looks amazing. One of the biggest knocks that I would say are the feet and the hands were incredibly loose. Very loose joints and crappy jointed feet and hands, especially the feet. Now, a great segue here is the feet again were terrible. This guy fell over several times, very loose jointed feet on here, which begs the question, how are you going to give us crappy jointed feet and not include a stand? So the stand that you see is just a basic 1/6 scale eBay/Amazon stand. I needed to get a stand on this guy because he fell probably 3 to 4 times due to the loose jointed feet. So Mars Toys, 3-0, other companies out there, if you're gonna make a 1/6 scale figure, include a goddamn stand. Makes no sense to put a balancing act in front of us and not include a stand. It would cost what, $5, $10 extra for the consumer, $2 extra for you to include some type of stand if we just went generic and basic. But I think we would have taken anything versus a figure that's gonna fall over because those feet were very loose. I am not your typical reviewer. I'm not going to go through every single one of these and be like, oh, there's a gun that you can put the sign in, and here's this from this movie, and these are teeth. You have eyes. You can clearly see what's in front of you. The teeth were kind of cool because you can actually spring and do that with the teeth. Pretty neat to note that we have an option of 2 coats. This one just has the split back on it versus the flat back on the other one. 2 different guns. But beyond that, like I said, you have eyes. You see what this guy comes with. A plethora of stuff. And overall, the quality on all the accessories I thought was fantastic. There's a ton of accessories, and I'm excited at the price point that they came with all of this stuff. Just wish they came with a stand as well. And personally, I would have sacrificed a couple accessories and preferred it came with a stand versus all these accessories and no stand. But that's just me. And of course, how do you show off Joker without the Cape Crusader himself, Michael Keaton's Batman by Hot Toys? Which is obviously a good segue to say, well, can you really spot the difference? To the untrained eye, we have a Hot Toys on the left, we have a third-party Joker on the right. Personally, no, I don't think you're going to be able to spot the difference. Now, is there a difference? Absolutely. The head sculpt is slightly different, not as detailed. The hat is slightly different. The body overall is actually slightly different too. I want to say, do I use the words chubbier? But without having the other Joker side by side, these two pair fantastically. And at $200 Mars Toys Joker versus $500 Hot Toys Joker, you really can't go wrong. The contrast between these two, the history between these two, I don't give a crap whether it's Hot Toys or Mars Toys. I just needed them beside each other because they pair so well, and you would probably agree with me when I say they are probably the most classic villain and hero duo in comic and film history. I mean, personally, I feel like a little schoolgirl. Looking at these two together, I'm ecstatic to have these on my shelf representing one of the best films of all time. And we are so lucky that we are going to get to see Michael Keaton again. And the reason I almost paused for a second there is, unless the Flash guy, this Ezra, he keeps getting arrested. I think he just got arrested again in Hawaii. So if this guy keeps getting arrested, that film is doomed. But if that film still comes out, we are blessed to see Michael Keaton don the cape of the Crusader again, Batman. I am so excited. I believe he's also going to be in the Batgirl series on HBO. So with all that said, Michael Keaton's coming back. We're all going to crap our pants. But back to the figures at hand. Absolutely amazing. Can't stress enough. They pair phenomenally. And there we have it. Mars Toys Joker. Now, before we slap a score on this guy, some final notes. Was the 2-year wait worth it? I don't really know how to answer that because it's not Hot Toys quality. However, being that this is probably one of the only choices for the '89 Batman Joker, well, yeah, then it was worth it to me because I don't want to pay $500 for the Hot Toys one. And as I mentioned several times, I don't think the $300 difference between the two is worth it. Pluck the Hot Toys Joker out of the equation, put this guy next to your Batman. Like I said, to the untrained eye, I don't think you notice the goddamn difference. The tailoring was pretty decent. Yeah, there's a couple slightly sloppy parts, but overall, I think my expectations were met. We have 2 coat options, a plethora of accessories. No stand, yeah, wonk, wonk. I can't believe he didn't come with a stand. But we have all that other stuff that I just said. So I'm not going to knock it too much. Overall, I would say that Mars Toys did a good job. They did justice for the community, giving us access to a character that most of us financially did not have access to. But now we do. as far as a score on this guy, so what I'm going with is going to be an 8.2 out of 10. That's right, an 8.2 out of 10. I think this is a good choice. Do I recommend it? Yeah, absolutely. $200, all those accessories, several layers of clothing, a decent head sculpt. You cannot go wrong for this Joker. I would not recommend to my friends and family that you go spend $500 just because of the differences on the two. I do not think it's worth it. For $200, this is worth it. And of course, if you did miss out on the first round, I do believe there is a second batch coming. So get your pre-orders in now. Don't miss it, because my guess is this guy will probably go up there, $250, maybe $300 after those pre-orders are done, because our only choices will then be Mars Toys and Hot Toys. And with all that said, we're going to be signing off here today. KC Toys. 2-year wait on the Mars Toys. Joker, nuts up with the bird. Don't even know what I just said. Ah!